Happy birthday, dude! Your first dumb money birthday.
Why am I working on my birthday again?
I have a present for you, but I left it at home.
We have been doing no presents for like 30 years.
Well, here's the thing. This was a housewarming gift for when you built your house. How many years ago was that?
4 or 5 years ago.
And we forgot to give it to you, so now it's your birthday present. So you're getting your housewarming gift 5 years late, or your birthday present on time.
We're headed to Fort Worth. This company is a technology company in the retail space. They have a tablet or something that goes in the dressing room to allow customers to request additional sizes as they're trying things on.
I met this guy at breakfast a couple months ago, and he was intriguing. He's out of Austin. It's a dressing room tech company that evidently he's getting a lot of traction with retailers.
Yeah, so it's kind of like blending online shopping with the offline being able to try things on experience.
You know, Jordan is so pumped right now.
To have something in his neighborhood?
The meeting is in Fort Worth, which is, what, 10 minutes from his house? So everyone asks us all the time, like, what broker do you use, right? And, you know, we use Ameritrade.
I used to use E-Trade and switched to Ameritrade. I don't really know why. I don't like it better or worse.
But Ameritrade doesn't do international trades like on foreign exchanges, so we have to use Interactive Brokers or Charles Schwab for that stuff, and we've been using Interactive Brokers, and I can't stand the UI of Interactive Brokers. This is probably the worst thing we could ever say for an eventual, if we try to get a sponsorship down the road.
They will not be a sponsor of ours until they fix their software. Because I was trying to place a trade this morning. I was trying to sell flour. You go back to episode 1, 2, and 3 of this channel, you'll see what that's all about. I couldn't figure out how to place the order. Once I got the order in, I couldn't see if it was actually placed. It looks like 200 of the shares sold, but 6,000 of them were still pending.
So the reason why we sold flour, I love everything they're doing at flour, but cannabis is in a bad place, and flour tried to raise $125 million to expand their operation, and they were unsuccessful in raising the money. And for me, that was just a red flag. You know, the fact that they can't expand their operation, they can't get that $125 million is a little bit of a red flag for me. So I'm pulling out of flour for now. I might get back in at some point. I'm recommitting to the cannabis space though. I'm gonna like dig deep for a few weeks and research, but there's some interesting things happening, especially in CBD. Charlotte's Web came out yesterday. They basically announced a deal that they're going to be in, I don't know, like 1,700 Kroger stores. They're $2 billion valuation, which is unfortunate, but still, I'm going to make some cannabis plays here in the next month.
Well, the entire sector has been hit so hard that there may be buying opportunities in the bigger ones that we stayed away from.
I think branding matters, even with CBD, and I think there's some strong brands. Charlotte's Web is one of those brands, and the ones that are first to get massive distribution in brick and mortar, Dave, are the ones that consumers will adopt first, and they'll become loyal to those brands, I think, to some degree. CBD is just one of those things you don't really want to mess around too much with buying the generic brand, I think, for a lot of these applications.
Yeah, I got out of flour at $4.15, probably a few cents less than you.
I was at it like, what did I say, $4.25 or $4.24 or something like that.
This is not accurate. Am I paying commission on every single portion of the trade that went through? Like a separate commission? $30 for these 200 shares, $15 for these 1,800 shares. What is their commission structure? $0 for this 2,600 shares.
That's just how it is.
Why am I paying different amounts for different things? 2,600 shares at $0 commission, 200 shares at $30 commission, and then a random $3.60 for these 400 shares. I do not get it.
You know what is kind of exciting about today? I just realized this. We get to have lunch, which means barbecue at Fort Worth, which we never get to do.
We never do that.
There's like an additional 50 barbecue places at Fort Worth. How are we going to decide where to go?
Well, we have Jordan with us, so he'll have some suggestions.
Hey, how are you?
I'm Dave.
We're not like super familiar with the tech. Yeah. So it's going to be good to see it. So just kind of intrigued and want to learn more about it, and then we can maybe talk to you about the investment. You're pretty close to closing your funding, right?
Yeah, it looks like come mid-August we'll have surpassed our $500,000 round. Awesome. For us, we just wanted to test how fast can we get it into the store, how easy can we make it for a retailer to buy, and how much do the shoppers love it. Today we just closed a massive athletic retailer. I wish I could tell you the name of it.
That's okay.
They said, hey, listen, we know that fitting room conversion is super high for us. It's almost like 72% in their stores. And they knew that traffic was like 7%. It actually helped generate more revenue. But when they took that survey crew out, they knew nothing. They didn't know how many people were going to the fitting room, They didn't know how many people were bringing what products in. They didn't know what they were leaving behind. They didn't know when people needed help. They didn't know how their associates were helping anybody. And that's what the Crave solution does, is it actually at a surface helps shoppers get products that they want on demand right in the fitting room, but it actually creates data for the retailer to know what that customer journey is in the store and how it's impacting total revenue for the store.
Let's go check it out.
Literally 4 hours to get the entire store set up, going, feeding data. It's incredible.
So this is the Crave platform. As you can see on the right, these are all the items that the customer has walked into the fitting room with. Sort of like an e-commerce experience. You can see the product that they're trying on. They can see different colors. If they're interested, they can see a larger image. They can see the available sizes, what's in the store, and easily make a request. Once they click send, it sends out an alertification. Sales associate gets an alert to help that customer out. You're able to see a product description of the details of the product. We're also showing you recommendations that are similar to this product, so you can continue to increase the amount of items in the cart and buy what you're looking for today. Once you're done, you can tell us how the experience was and how amazing it is, and you can be on your way. The goal, get more units into the fitting room, because more units means more conversion.
Love it. Let's go to lunch, get some barbecue. I want to talk about the competition. I want to dive into some of the hurdles that you guys might have to understand that a little better.
Super pumped about this. I think me and Dave have different opinions on what are the best parts of it. I love the RFID that's coming out because I walk into the dressing room and it knows everything I have instantaneously. Everything preloads and is populated, and the computer immediately starts giving me recommendations.
I don't even think it needs the RFID, because I think that the first interaction you have with it, by having to scan something, it makes you look at the screen.
Yeah.
It could be showing me stuff all day long and I might ignore it because I'm used to having messages flash in front of me and I'm really good at ignoring.
I think people will do the scan, it just won't be at the level you need, which is 100%. Think about it. The store wants to know every single thing that goes in that dressing room.
That's what the RFID you need, so that you know exactly what went in the dressing room, what was purchased, what went back.
And it plays into theft deterrent.
Because then the computer can start making recommendations. Also, sales associates can start pulling stuff instantaneously for that person if they know what you walked in the dressing room in the second you walked in it, right?
Yeah. You're still dependent on a store employee being a good employee, and knowing what they're doing, knowing how to interpret what went into the dressing room, and being proactive in getting out there on the floor.
You know what the problem right now, though, is you don't know who's good and who's bad. You're only basing that off of what's being sold, but you don't know which associate actually suggested 45 items in the fitting room and really drove a lot of revenue for that store, while Jenny was just sitting around doing nothing. You didn't know that.
Cheap labor's gone, meaning you either need less people or you need the people that you do have in your stores to be way more productive at driving revenue and sales, right?
Talk to me about what other competitors exist in this space.
Oak Labs and AlertTech. Oak Labs had built on one end of the spectrum what was really neat in some ways, but overcomplicated and quite costly. Big mirror, could track your body, it could tell you things that you were trying on. You could order things from there similar to ours. You could adjust the lighting, but it was, in some ways, the feedback was that it was a little creepy.
What'd that cost?
$15,000 for just hardware outside of integration and setup costs.
It's a TV with sensors and a mirror, and it has to all be built together and shipped to the store.
It's a lot of work. Ours is just an iPad and an enclosure, and it comes prepackaged, 4 screws, and it's ready to go on a wall. So the other end of the spectrum was a doorbell. It was convenient, right? Because you're trying on intimate space, you want help. But again, to oversimplify. 2 things I don't want to be. I don't want to be a boutique shop solution, and I don't want to be a New York flagship press release. I want to help an Abercrombie, an Express, who has 1,000 stores, who's saying, how the heck do we move the needle with innovation? Because every time somebody has something innovative, it costs me millions of dollars, months. I don't have millions of dollars, and I don't have a year to get something deployed.
How many stores are there, apparel stores, affiliated with the national chains in the U.S., do you know?
So in our North America market, we think there's about 100,000 stores in the North America, including Canada.
I'm just concerned because I know there are a number of tech platforms on the inventory management side that are at the point of sale that are working with these retailers. So they've been thinking about this for years.
And so they see this and they're like, oh, we just add a scanner to our display that's already there, and then we're halfway there.
You would think it's that simple, but a lot of them are just trying to own that space. They're not trying to dabble in too many other things. What I think's important for our company is to not go at this alone. A lot of companies, a lot of startups, they try to go tackle a space by themselves. We all just help each other take over the market.
So cheers to Dave, though. Happy birthday, man. Happy first Dumb Money birthday, Dave. Happy birthday. Thank you.
What do you think? Are you in on this deal?
Yeah, I'm like you. I think, just throw some money into it, just so we're involved. It's a no-brainer. It doesn't, the only issue is if somebody bigger comes in and just does the same thing and already has the relationships in place.
You would at least do a pilot and see if it affects your sales at all, and if it has any positive impact that's greater than the cost, why not?
Yeah.
I'm not like crazy excited, but I will say this, I'm in purely based on his ability to get traction this quickly. Like, he's a founder I can invest in. Well, let's just all figure out how much we want to be in once we get the paperwork and we look over the deck.
He's very convincing, and I think that this is good for retail.
Sometimes at this early of a stage, it's all about the founder and the idea.
If you go to dressing rooms, is this something that would be useful? Let us know in the comments.
We have so much good stuff coming on in the next few weeks. I'm really excited about. Thanks for your comments. They've been amazing.
We are Dumb Money. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do that, and we will see you next week.